everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So I've actually just finished my tags in 10 to 20 to 30 video, and I'm crafting away and it's not really the same without you guys here. So I've turned the camera back on. I didn't do anything in between except add gesso to my tags, and I haven't sewn around the other tag yet. I popped it to the side and went, oh, I still have gesso to use. I'm just going to pop that over the tags I have here. So I'm just using up the gesso that I have. I'm hoping I have enough to do the rest of the tags I have here. I may add just a little bit more water. I didn't even move this back over to where I'm crafting. I left it where it was. Oh, and I've got a mess. Okay. Let's just, I really do have a mess, don't I? I'm just looking at the amount of space that's left on my desk and going, it's all gone. So you're not going to learn anything new in this video. This is just me crafting with you because I can. I just thought I'd turn the camera back on and say hi. Okay, so moving this over here. Just going to spritz it with a little bit more water. As you can see, it's drying out a little bit. I probably added too much. Okay. So I did turn the camera off and think to myself, now I've asked you all to share how many DIY projects you have going, and I don't think I actually shared myself. So I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly because I haven't done a tally and there's a lot. But let me have a think. I'm not sure I want a lot on the back of this side. I know one of them I didn't put. I think I just deflected, guys. I didn't put any on the back of one of them because this one, I really love that effect as is. So, and this one's a bit the same with the green. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, back to true confessions. Oh gosh. Now I have to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I get to stop now? That doesn't even include the, you know, the knitting projects and the crochet projects and the, it doesn't include anything else but my journal projects. And that doesn't include, you know, things like sorting my craft space and organizing, and one of those projects is actually an organizational, well actually two are organizational projects. So one of them is I still have to finish covering my digital paper folders. So I think I'm going to not put any gesso on the back of this one either because I really like the lines on the back. So yes, my digital paper folders, I need to finish covering those so that I actually know what's in each folder just by picking it up and glancing at it. but I have created a storage, like a magazine rack box. Is that what they're called? You know, the storage box that you put your magazines in, one of those, to keep those in. So part of the reason I did that was that, not because things were falling out of them, but it keeps them in a more sturdy environment while they're on my desk. So I don't have, in case you didn't notice from my last video, I don't have anything at the back of my desk. My desk is not at the back of, this desk is not against a wall. So anything I have sitting at the back of my desk is fair game to fall off. So I did that so that I can see if I can show you. Again, I've got stuff everywhere. If something goes bang, I didn't mean to. Okay. And it will. Oh gosh, it didn't. Okay, I'm going to lift the camera up. You'll see the mess on my desk, but oh well. Okay, I'm hoping that's high enough. So I've created this. It's not very easy to get this under here. This magazine holder, and it's big enough to fit an A4 sized folder in it. So I think you get the picture. That's the back, using the antique papery papers and some music paper. So I created one that size for my folders, and that's what they're stored in. Now I've got things sitting against that, so just bear with me while I pop this away. Okay, almost there, guys. This wasn't the reason I turned the camera on. This is just where my head went after I did. Okay, and then on the other side of that, again, moving things. Okay, so I have another one. It is slightly smaller. As you can see, it fits in the camera much better. It's not quite A4 size. And again, I've used the antique papery papers to decorate it. And inside is where I'm keeping my work in progress. So this is my Wonderland journal, my current project. I do have another little journal down here that I've started that I really haven't progressed very far with. And I'm keeping my signatures, and at the moment the ephemera is just sitting, some of the ephemera is just sitting inside that signature. I do have a separate box that I'm keeping ephemera in for this project also. And that way it's not falling off my desk. The folders were sitting upright on their own quite well, but the signatures for my journal were not. And I really love, I just remembered that the camera was up and I probably just had my head in the screen. Sorry, guys. So the folders were sitting up by themselves quite well, but the signatures weren't. And I needed to be able to store them upright rather than flat. They were just falling off each other while they were on my desk. So I'm finding that that storage option has been amazing. Like, I love it so much. I actually want to create another magazine storer, and I will probably make it the same size as my A4 folders. And I think partly because it's multifunctional, so because it's such a large size, I can use it for other things if I choose not to use it for the purpose I'm making it for anymore. And I'm going to sit my ephemera folders inside that. And then instead of having all of my separate bits and pieces individually on my desk, I'm essentially going to end up with 3 magazine holders, racks, boxes, whatever they're called, on my desk that will have all of those bits inside. And it has really helped me clean up my space. They do take up room, so be prepared for that. My desk is not very deep, and they are taking up quite a bit of space in that respect, but I don't have anything in front of me because I have a light just here. So I can't put things there. Well, I can, but I would need to work out a different way of lighting my space so that you can actually see properly, or I can see properly. And I haven't done that yet, so that may happen in the future. I'm hopeful, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it will work. So I'm going to just quickly dry these. I don't think they'll need it, but just in case, so just mind your ears. Okay, they've mostly dried because I talk a lot. So that wasn't too time consuming. I'm just wondering which way I want them to go. Obviously these have to go that way, and that one has to go that way, and I think I'll put that one that way. Okay. So my next step is stamping. I don't know why I put everything away, really. Okay. Now, I think when I was confessing how many projects I have on the go, I probably told you 6. That could be a slight embellishment of the truth, because I'm looking around and I have piles of things everywhere. So I'm guessing I just have so many things that I can't remember what I'm doing at the moment. Things like, you know, I've got another separate pile for my fussy cutting, and I've got another separate pile of things that I want to tea stain, and another pile of things that I have tea stained and I haven't put away. I have another pile of things that I've tea stained and I need to iron. And yes, I do that. I do have a paper press. I need to learn how to talk and work at the same time. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Yes, now I don't even remember what I was saying. I do have a paper press. It's a DIY paper press that hubby made me, and I'm happy to share that with you. If you are interested in having a look, by all means give me a shout out and let me know. It's fabulous. I love it. It's very easily made, and all I did was mention to hubby that I wanted one, and we had a little talk about ideas, and next minute I knew he had created it. He's amazing like that. And so I do have that I can use to flatten my paper, but I do like to iron it first. I just find I find it quite satisfying actually to see it flatten out, but I also find that it presses better if I do iron it first. I don't end up with as much wrinkling. Things like this don't tend to happen as much. So yes, I have, and as you know, I'm still sorting out my craft space and my bookcase and everything. I've just got everything going on. So when I say I have a lot going on behind the scenes, I actually do. I want to create something for my mum, which may happen in the next couple of days, I'm hoping. As I may have mentioned, she enjoys crafting as well. She is a knitter and has recently learned how to crochet. Yay her! Something I've been telling her I could help her with for many moons, and just recently she asked me if I could show her. My grandmother taught me how to crochet when I was very young, and it was something that I did when I was young, and then I got bored with it and I stopped, and I picked it up again a few years ago. I actually had to relearn a lot, and I did that via YouTube. Such a wonderful resource, YouTube, and the people who share what they do so that, you know, we can all learn from that. And that's why I think I enjoy being able to do these videos. I don't know whether anything I do is actually helping anybody out there, but I enjoy being able to share, and I enjoy watching other people and what they share. So yes, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos to relearn, and even now, if I come across something that I want to learn how to do, or I don't remember, I need to revisit, I will certainly look it up on YouTube, and there's usually somebody out there who's shared something amazing that will help me do what I need to do. So anyway, I gave Mum a couple of quick lessons, and they really were very quick. We had very limited time with her, and she picked it up so quickly, and I knew she would. And she's made some amazing things using the crochet skills that she's now developed. So yes, I wanted to make her a little something or something to help her with her crafting, a little storage something. So I do have that little project in mind. So, you know, I haven't stopped adding to what I'm doing. I'm growing the ideas, I suppose. Oh, bright shiny things. So I think that will be my new catchphrase. Oh, bright shiny things. I am a lot like that. Oh, goodness me. Who doesn't like bright shiny things? Okay. So I almost feel like I'm scooching through this set of tags quicker than the last lot, and I'm doing, I don't even know how many I'm doing. I just grabbed a few. Half a dozen maybe? Indeed I am. Go me. So I want to put my ink away. Oh. Okay, so something else I probably should share. Behind me, I have cube shelving. So it's great. It's a 4x4 set of cube shelving, and I have a lot of it. It would be my major storage in my craft space for, oh, wrong folder. See, I haven't marked the other one yet. I mean, I haven't decorated the other one yet. It's my major storage in here for all of my art and craft supplies, and I love it. But I don't have, so you know how with storage options, sorry, with the cube storage, you have baskets that you can put in there. Well, I don't have that, and that was a choice that I made because, well, I was worried that things would end up in chaos, basically. The idea of having the cubes, the baskets in the cubes, is really appealing because I'm just looking for different focal points at the moment to pop onto my little journaling cards, in case, you know, you were wondering what I'm doing. I mustn't have done a large sheet of mushrooms. I don't know why I didn't do that. Anyway, we'll see if we can make those work. So I didn't get the baskets because I felt like, well, the baskets to start with are fairly soft at the bottom. They usually have, like, they're usually fabric. I don't particularly like the wicker type baskets. I love the look of them, but we have a very dusty area here and they do end up very dusty. Having said that, they are something that you can, I guess, probably, maybe take outside and hose off if it came to that, but I don't like dust, and I have it everywhere. It's my life. Our area gets so dry and dusty. So I don't like the wicker ones, and the fabric ones are soft-sided. And so in the bottom they have a piece of fabric covered, almost like a chipboard, that you put in for stability, usually. Not all, but that's how a lot of them are made. And I just feel like they're not overly sturdy to be filling to the rafters, which is what I would need to do with all of my craft supplies. So I have chosen not to use those. I'm just going to do these backgrounds exactly the same, I think, as the last lot that I did, using these antique papery little ATC borders. And again, I will link them. Oops. We'll link them in the description below so that you can locate them. They're lots and lots of fun, and there are lots of options. This is just, I'm not sure if I have backgrounds from 1 or 2 sets here on the tissue paper. I think it's from 2 different collections. But they have lots and lots of collections available, and I'm struggling with this. Can you see that? So back to the baskets. So I worry that if I pack them to the rafters and they're soft-sided, that everything is just going to fall into the center of the basket on top of each other. So, and I was thinking about getting baskets just recently because seriously, the number of times I pop things on my shelf at the moment, and I do have things in my shelf that are stacked on top of each other. It's embarrassing, but I've told you before, I need the storage space. So I was thinking about storage the other day, and I did actually wonder if getting the baskets would eliminate things falling on top of each other like they have been. But I don't know. Part of me also feels like, and I know this is probably going to sound crazy, but I feel like if I get the baskets, I'm going to lose storage space. Don't ask me why. Does anybody understand why I would think like that? I'm not sure I do. But I just feel like some things won't fit back in the way they do right now. Probably because I have things stacked on top of each other. I have actually wondered whether making some sort of box or shelving system to go in there would be a good idea. I've also considered tacking a piece of timber across the back of my cubes to stop things from falling out the back. I walked past, so the window behind me, so the cube shelving is against a window, and I walked through my other day and I could see things that had fallen out of the shelf against the window that I didn't realize, and I was like, oh golly, well that happened. Now I have more. So So yes, if anybody has any possible suggestions of things that I might be able to do to rectify the issue I'm having. As I said, I have considered putting something at the back, just attaching it with some, I don't know, liquid nails, or I don't really want to try and like hammer or screw anything into the unit, because I don't want to weaken the structure. But they really should make cube shelving with backs. I'm not sure I've actually seen them with backs. I've seen some that have a different, sorry, what am I trying to say? They have some cubes with no back and some cubes with backs. So a variety in the one unit. But I haven't actually seen one, I don't think, with the backs in all of them. And I don't want to rush out to buy a new one because I've not long purchased this one, really. And I love my cube shelving because it does offer a lot of storage. But I'm just wondering if I can use that. I'm not really sure Antique Papery intend us to use that little piece in the center, but it's really sweet, and I actually really like the writing for their like logo and things. Or I could just use the cake. It's lots of fun. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of part of their logo. Whoops. I've got gesso on my fingernail. I just noticed. Looks like I've tried to paint my nail white and I failed. Okay. I just remembered I bought a cup of tea in here with me, and I haven't had one mouthful since I started the first video. And that's what I do when I bring a cup of tea into my craft space. Okay, I'm going to tear this little strip off that's still on here on the side. So that would be this little strip. That's kind of fun. I decided it would be easier to tear now than later. So I'm sure this is really riveting watching for you because I'm literally just sitting here tearing tissue paper. Oh well, I guess this is what I do. And chatting. Okay. So yes, I don't know if I said, if you have any suggestions of what I could or should do, feel free to let me know because I'm open to suggestions. I'd like to make my little shelves work as best or as efficiently as possible. And I'm not really feeling like they are at the moment. Like I said, I've got them packed to the rafters, but when things are constantly falling out, and it's all time, isn't it? It's time to... I just had a visual of me trying to get behind those shelves, whether it's down the side and behind or pulling half of things out of the shelf to get to the things that have fallen. Either way, not easy to reclaim things that have fallen. Oh, isn't that fun? Yes, it's all time consuming, and I don't want to be spending my time in here. It's like cleaning. I mean, who wants to do that if they could be crafting? Seriously, I could have done this part off camera, but I didn't think about it at the time I turned the camera back on. Sorry, guys. These will actually be really fun, I think. I really, really love these little patchwork backgrounds. And I did notice on Antique Paperies, oh sorry, I just got sidetracked and now I've lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was going to say just then. It may come to me. Oops. That tearing went a little skewish. Oh, and it's doing it again. Oh, and it's doing it again. This isn't making me happy. Oh well, I did say they're not meant to be perfect, didn't I? Never mind. Part of me is just like, should I stop talking so I can just fast forward through the tearing of the tissue paper? It sounds like a ritual, doesn't it? It's kind of feeling like that at the minute. I am finding tearing is way quicker than trying to cut them though. Oops. Whoops. I'm saying that a lot. I was just like, how long have I been putting these poor people through this torture? Sorry. One thing with these backgrounds, especially the patchwork ones, for these tags, I am kind of keeping an eye on my colours because some of my tags are the colour tea stain. And I have found that sometimes using these backgrounds, my colour for the tea stain and the colour in these backgrounds can sometimes clash. So obviously any of these would work on the just plain tea stain. But okay, I promise I'm going to stop now. I can't promise that won't be the only tearing of the tissue paper. That's our new ritual, guys, the tearing of the tissue paper. Okay, I do have to come up with some focal points, so there will be more tearing of the tissue paper. But for now, I'm missing a tag. What? Oh, here. Fun little strip. Okay, now what do I want? Now I know in my journal I have more pastel pinks. I just reached for my signature out of my magazine rack that I just shared with you that holds very nicely my signatures. Just had to share that with you. Oh, those pinks are actually quite pretty with that. Okay, so we could use that one. But that one has the dark blue. Oh, I do have blue on the other signature, don't I? So I'm looking at the blue here, and it kind of goes with that. So that totally works. May have just mixed my signatures up, and now I can't remember where I took this one from. Luckily for me, I have it on video, so I can go back and watch my own video to find out what order I had them in. The bonuses of doing YouTube videos. Just saying, I really like that one. It won't show that green as clearly because the background is clear, but it won't show that green as clearly because the background is green, but I feel like those colors work together, which doesn't always happen in my world. Kind of like that one. I'm thinking on there. And then I'd like to try some of these. I am noticed these ones, they're quite light and they're sort of blending a little bit, whereas these ones are standing out. So I'm wondering whether something like this is better because it stands out that little bit more. And that could even work on, I think this is my eggplant type colour, so that could work on there. Oh, I did want to try this one actually. I really love this. I do like the way they pop on there. And I think I prefer that one. It's just a little bit brighter. This one's a little bit softer. Okay, so we've got our backgrounds and a little bit of a mess, but try and adapt to that as best I can. I don't actually remember which way these went. That's awkward. Okay, so I'll be taking time out of my day later on to rewatch my own video. Okay, so I think I'm going to just tear these as I want them. And I'm using the same idea for each one. My idea is that they'll be in separate signatures, so when they're in the signature you won't know that they're made with the same format. And this one, because it is a different shape, I probably could have cut this differently. So we might do the other square one just a fraction different. But I still think that's really fun. And this one I think is a little bit wider than it needs to be. So I'm going to tear it the same way. Oh no, it's actually a good size. I did not expect that. I thought the bottom would go over. Oh, Sherry, these are fun. I might bring that down a fraction. We can fluff with that when we glue them on. I'm not going to lie, when I first saw these, I was like, I want them big. I want them full size. I don't know what I'm going to do with them being itty bitty, but I'm really enjoying the size that they are, and it's making me think about using paper in a different way, which I really love. Okay, so this one I'm going to tear the same way for the bottom. Part of the reason I'm doing this is because essentially I'm using half of the sheet, half of this piece as the bottom, which kind of anchors, and then I'm kind of doing it the same, I think, but I'm not taking it right. Oops. I'm not taking it right from the corner here. And I might see if I can round it almost. So same but a little bit different. Maybe that can go like that. Okay. So now I get to glue. I'm going to move, I have my focal point tissue paper just sitting to my left. I'm going to move that, and oh, I thought I'd finish, but I actually haven't. Awkward. Okay, one more. I think that was a bright shiny things moment. I think I actually had looked at this and realized that I needed to do this one as well, and then I looked at something else and went, oh, I'm moving on. It's like, oh, glue book, let's glue. Okay. We could possibly even move that across a little bit. Okay, see how delicate I'm being with these? I'll probably laugh or something, and I'll... I shouldn't laugh when I say that. It would be just like me to do that. Okay, look at me with my glue book on my right because I'm right-handed. How sensible is that? I don't usually feel like I have room to do it that way when I'm crafting. Maybe because the tags are small. I'm doing it this way. It feels right. Just saying. Oops. I was just thinking, it's like I have a shortcut video on how to do these tags and the full version. Okay. You didn't go down very well, did you? Can I lift you? Steady. That was worse. It was good while it was off the cardboard, and as soon as I went to put it down, it curled in under itself. Oh, it'll be fine. Okay. And just being careful applying the glue to these. They are very fragile, so not to push too hard and do what I did in the other video and put a hole in it. Or was that when I was, I think that might have been when I was burnishing it down, which I use the bone folder for. And I may still do that, but I may let it sit for a moment before I do that. Or maybe I'll just leave it and not do that and see how it goes. I have burnished it down with my fingernail, just using the back, as you can see here, which, you know, it is a delicate tissue paper, so that really should be all it requires. Okay, that's one. And so far, the tissue paper is still where I placed it. I haven't sneezed, I haven't coughed, I haven't laughed hard enough for it to travel. It kind of reminds me of a cartoon that you would see. And I may need to change my glue page. And you might decide you'd like creases in your tissue paper when you do this. I don't really want creases in my tissue paper right now, but it has given me another idea of something else I could try. So maybe my tags in 10 to 20 to 30. I'm just going to call it that now. I think that's hilarious. Series. Maybe I'll try that in a different video. I do have between 10 and 30 minutes now to play with that I've changed the name, so and you know, you will know how long the video goes for when you see it posted, because you can see the time. I'm kind of guessing that more of my videos in that series will be closer to the 30-minute mark, because it's my thing. It's just it's almost like my nemesis is to take longer than most. As long as I get there, isn't that right? Oops. Curly paper when it's wet, even if it's glue wet. Okay, you could also do this same process on, if you've got book paper that you've turned into a journaling card. So like we're going to do here, we'll just add some extra glue. Oops, and that's not very, I've got this one turned over. I was using that for inking, but oh. Some of my tissue paper just shifted, guys. I did that. I was using that for inking, so that's why it was turned over like that. I don't really want, oh well, it is what it is. Okay, so so yes, if you have a little journaling card made out of book paper like this, you could totally do the same process on the book paper. You could still stamp it if you choose to stamp it, or you could just use the print of the text underneath and then put your tissue paper over the top. Lots of different options. Be careful. Okay, let's get these down before they end up all over the place. I'll never find them. I'll never know which way they go back together again, I'm sure. Okay. Oops. And I am going to add a little bit of glue to the outside of this one because it hasn't quite tacked down properly. That's much better. Folded that onto itself. I don't even know if I'm in camera, guys. I'm just doing my thing. I feel like maybe I was a little bit off. Sorry about that. My fingers are so tacky right now. I don't know if you can see. I'll see if I can show you. So just here, I have a little bit of, I don't know if it's showing in the camera, it's hard to tell. There's just a little bit of lifting. So just adding tiny bit of glue over the top. And if I show you now, I can't actually see that lifting anymore. So, and I was putting the tiniest amount over that, but it does make a difference. And I have just noticed that I'm getting very close to time, so this may even end up being a two-part video. That's more like my style. But, you know, I am creating another 6 tags, so something I've learnt from working on the journal that I'm working on, and the fact that I have 6 signatures and I'm trying to do 6 of most things, is that it is time consuming and it's totally worth the time. So, oh dear. So I'm thinking maybe I will turn the video off or stop this video, however you want to word that. I have a big section there that I've missed putting glue on. I don't know how I did that. And I'll restart it and we will do a part 2. So we'll finish this one. They're so pretty. And again, I don't know if I said at the beginning of this video, it was at the beginning of the tags in 10 to 20 to 30. I just like saying that, sorry. These background papers were printed on tissue paper, and I do have a video for that task where I've printed these papers, so I will link that in the description below so that you can see in case you're wondering. this is why I need to watch back the videos when I finish, because I don't actually write down what I tell you I'm going to do. So I need to go back and see what I need to add to each video before I post it. So and again, I'm just noticing the edge across there, so just adding that tiny bit of glue to make it disappear, basically. And I wonder why my fingers end up tacky. I'm like, you're using your fingers, no wonder. Okay, so we've got 4 done. And, you know, we completed the tearing of the tissue paper, guys, so that did take a lot of time. So I'm going to stop the video there, and I will restart it to do part 2 or part B, whatever I do. Okay, so I was about to end that video when I got a phone call, so I've popped back on to say goodbye. I don't even know what I was saying when the phone rang. So we've created 4 in that time. We've had the tearing of the tissue paper, and I have just found out I have a visitor coming, so I will pop back and do the part B shortly, and I'll see you soon, everybody. Happy crafting, and bye for now.